Breaking news coming in here on India Today. We are understanding from our top sources that Acting Chief Minister Paneerselvam wants to make the Poes Garden residence of former Chief Minister Jayalalithaa a memorial in her honor. We're standing right now outside Poes Garden, the lane leading up to the iconic Poes Garden, which is where Jayalalithaa lived right before she was admitted to hospital and then her tragic demise in December last year. It's also where VK Sasikala, her prospective successor, lives right now with her family. I want to go straight across to India Today's Pramod Madhav, who's breaking the story first and exclusive here on India Today. Pramod, Poes Garden is the name of this entire area, but it is known for nothing more. It is known for nothing better, rather, than being the place where the house and the home of Jayalalithaa is. And now it appears that the fight between Sasikala and Paneerselvam has gotten even more bitter. The home that, went to Sasikala after Jayalalitha's death, Paneerselvam now is practically saying, I want to evict these people and make it a memorial in honor of Amma.
Well, that is so true actually, but what happens is here is that Paneerselvam is one person who always tried anything to prove his loyalty towards Amma, and we know how he prostrated before her, all in the form of respect. Now we've come to know that his camp has risen from 5 MLAs to 22, but apparently they don't want to disclose the names for now, so that it's because since all MLAs are still herded by Sasikala faction group, so they don't want to give us the names for now, but pretty soon it will be released. And our sources claim that when these MLAs meet the governor, there is a possibility for many to turn from that camp to this one. Apparently, one interesting fact is that yesterday one MLA had jumped the gun. He jumped from the camp of Sasikala to OPS. Interestingly, we broke the news saying that the missing MLAs were just a street away from OPS house. And what occurred is that around 8 p.m., MLA SP Shanmuganathan, he just said that he needs to just get some air, and he just left from the place, and he just seems to have walked all the way to OPS to join this group.
Yes.
This kind of commotion is currently occurring inside the camp now, Shiv, and also OPS in the other ways also trying to, we don't know if he wants to appease the people or is it genuine loyalty, but when we posed the question to certain people from OPS camp, they stated that if OPS becomes the CM, he does not have any plans to enter Poes Garden, unlike Sasikala, but to make that into a memorial, to remember Jayalalithaa for him.
The thing is, it's not just about loyalty anymore, is it? This is not just a symbolic gesture of respect as far as Amma is concerned. If Paneerselvam is now saying that he wants to make Poes Garden into a memorial for Amma, it's a twin message. It's not just honor for Amma, but it's also to get the current occupant of it, VK Sasikala, evicted from that property. So the message is very clear, Pramod. I want to go across to Akshita as well for more on this. Akshita joins us this morning from right outside Paneerselvam's residence in the city. Akshita, pretty clear message there. The controversial inheritance of the Poes Garden residence, Veda Nilayam, to Sasikala is already something that raised a lot of eyebrows. There was, a measure of outrage as well. By Paneerselvam now saying that the Poes Garden residence should become a memorial for Amma is basically saying whoever's in it needs to get out. That needs to be a tribute, like a temple for Amma.
Absolutely, Shiv. We have to keep in mind also that in December last year, when Jayalalithaa passed away, there was a massive online petition that gained quite a bit of steam as well, demanding that Poes Garden be made a memorial for Jayalalithaa. There were a lot of questions about her will. There were questions about whether Deepa Jayakumar will get inheritance of Poes Garden. But it has been Sasikala Natarajan who's been residing at Poes Garden. And I think this is a very, very clear, stern message from Paneerselvam. He's been upping the ante against Sasikala Natarajan. Many people have been questioning Sasikala really using Jayalalitha's assets, whether it's a property, whether it's a vehicle, and all of that. And I think O. Paneerselvam's really hit the bullseye as far as that's concerned, ensuring not just that he questions how Sasikala can reside at Poes Garden, but also adding an emotional twist to the same, saying that he will make it a memorial for Jayalalithaa, which was a huge demand when she passed away, that Veda Nilayam be made some sort of a memorial for her and for people to be able to visit, to be able to remember their Amma.
Right. Alright, day 2 of OPS versus Sasikala, and the first shot has been fired by Paneerselvam himself. We'll talk about the numbers and the MLAs in a short while, but right now Poes Garden has become battle center number 1 on day 2. O. Paneerselvam taking up that online petition that came out after Amma's death and now saying that this needs to be made into an Amma memorial. The subtext, of course, is that Sasikala, his now arch rival and the chief of his own party, needs to be evicted from that property associated most with Amma and really nobody else. That's the big message here. A. Saravanan of the DMK is also live with us. Saravanan, what are you making of this? You know, things are getting uglier. The pot shots between OPS and Sasikala getting more explicit, you know, coming faster and thicker as well. Now it's centered, at least for the moment, now it's centered over the Poes Garden property, with OPS saying it needs to be a temple to Amma and nobody else needs to be there.
See, from the beginning, from the demise of Selvi Jayalalithaa, this demand was always there that the Poes Garden should be made as a memorial for Selvi Jayalalithaa. But if you look at someone who has handled this wealth case against Selvi Jayalalithaa, if you look at the property holding pattern of Mrs. Sasikala and Selvi Jayalalithaa, all the properties belonging to Selvi Jayalalithaa is in the joint name of Sasikala and Jayalalithaa, except this Poes Garden residence and the grape gardens in Hyderabad near this Metila village. Only this property stands alone, except only in the name of Selvi Jayalalithaa. Every other property is in the name of Jayalalithaa and Sasikala. So this property, when it is in the name of Jayalalithaa, it should go to the legal heirs. She doesn't have any first class legal heirs, so the second class legal heirs would be his brother's son and daughter. They are entitled for this, but we don't know on what basis people are there holding that thing. So it will be like betraying the wish of every ADMK cadre to see the place where their leader had lived. I think OPS has, in their battle, I think he has taken a very
Saravanan, you're a lawyer, you're an experienced lawyer and a well-known lawyer. So are you saying that given the current circumstances, it is possible that the Poes Garden residence may become a bone of contention even in courts? It could become a property dispute between Paneerselvam and the AIA-DMK under Sasikala?
Yeah, certainly, because that's what I am telling you. They have there is no clear title. The title is only in the name of Selvi Jayalalithaa, and the natural legal heirs of are Mr. Deepak and Deepa, and I think Mr. Deepak is with Mrs. Sasikala and Deepa is with O. Paneerselvam. So definitely this will be a bone of contention, and you should also look at what Mr. O. Paneerselvam has did yesterday. He has written to all the banks to freeze the bank accounts. I think he is going for the jugular. We also should look into, add to this the fact that Election Commission has issued chokers notice to Mrs. Sasikala asking under what authority you are holding the post of interim general secretary, since there is no provision for an interim general secretary in the bylaws of the ADMK party. I think the legal battle is also going to be something which we have to look forward to.
Absolutely. So this could be a mega property dispute between O. Paneerselvam, who's taken it up as a kind of symbolic fight. But could it be one of the centerpieces of his arsenal against Sasikala? It's very emotive. It's the house where Jayalalithaa lived as the leader of Tamil Nadu. It's the house from which she was admitted to the Apollo hospital, from where she tragically died in December last year. but could it become the centerpiece of that battle between them now? It's becoming uglier and uglier every single day. Akshita, I want to quickly get an update from you from right outside Paneerselvam's residence in Chennai. What are we going to see happen today? You know, we have a vague sense that Sasikala and her MLAs, you know, may get a chance to meet the governor. They've sought time with him, but they haven't got an appointment. There's no clarity on when precisely the governor will be landing in Chennai. Do we have any clarity on what Mr. OPS's day is going to be like, Akshita?
We've been seeing quite a bit of activity here, Shiv, in the sense that we've seen a lot of former MLAs, ex-MLAs also making their way inside now to meet with the caretaker chief minister and really express their solidarity with him. As far as crowds here are concerned, it's thinning really. Few supporters gathered here and there. But as far as what Paneerselvam will be up to, he too no doubt will try to meet the governor, because we have to keep in mind that a few days back, before Sasikala's elevation, Paneerselvam had submitted his resignation. That was thereby accepted by the governor. And now with the latest twists and turns that we witnessed in the last 48 hours, which was completely unprecedented, completely unexpected, Paneerselvam will be waiting to meet the governor. He will be hoping to meet the governor even before Sasikala does, actually tell him, request him to not accept his resignation and explain the circumstances under which he did it. He's made some damning claims, remember, about how he was coerced, threatened into resigning. So he will want to clear the air about that, and particularly with the governor, because at this point, as we've stated time and again, the ball really is in Governor Vidyasagar Rao's court. Paneerselvam will possibly have a busy schedule ahead of him today, trying to get in as much support as he can. At this point, the numbers are in Sasikala Natarajan's favour. So the caretaker chief minister here will be trying to reach out to as many MLAs as possible at a time when Sasikala has really gone the extra mile to ensure that nobody can reach across to the MLAs who pledge their support to her. So it's all about that number game, Shiva, and Paneerselvam, of course, will have to do all the hard work, all the dirty work to ensure that he gets more support in, and also reach out to the governor today to ensure that his resignation that he had put forward, he explains the circumstances under which it was done, explains that it was forced, and also puts across that proof that he spoke about to show that several of these ministers had actually threatened him, had forced him to resign.
Well, he appears to be getting some love from those MLAs now. It's not just small potatoes. It's not just, a handful of MLAs, as was the picture yesterday. As Pramod just broke here first on India Today, the number has gone up to about 22 MLAs now. The names are, of course, not being revealed because it's a very sensitive time when horse trading could be potentially taking place. Many of them ensconced in a luxury hotel, near Chennai at this point of time. So it's a very sensitive situation. But like we said, shots have been fired. It's going to be all down to the arithmetic and the numbers game. The governor, thankfully, is going to be landing in Chennai today. So perhaps the stage is set for who can really prove that they deserve to be the chief minister. That can, of course, only happen through a floor test. But more shots were fired late last night. Let's get you up to speed on that as well. Also reported first on India Today here. Paneerselvam yesterday sent out a letter to banks telling them, remember that on the day when he conducted his satyagraha at the Marina Beach, on the same day he was sacked as the treasurer of the AIADMK, a position he was awarded by Jayalalithaa herself. But now Paneerselvam has written to banks asking them not to honor or endorse any transactions by the AIADMK unless they are approved or endorsed directly by him, because he contests that his sacking as treasurer is basically invalid because it was not done as per the bylaws of the AIADMK itself. So that's another very interesting, development, Akshita, where you've got this, not only this clash of personalities between Paneerselvam and Sasikala, but also this administrative tug of war. You've got the Poes Garden residence, which might develop into a full-blown property dispute, but also, all these nitty-gritties about money, which is already a sensitive issue as far as the AIADMK is concerned, positions of power as well. And now you've got Paneerselvam saying, please do not endorse any bank checks or any transactions from the AIADMK. I am still very much the treasurer.
Absolutely, Shiv. I think Paneerselvam has essentially proved that he has many tricks up his sleeve and that nobody can really afford to underestimate him. As you pointed out, we've seen his move as far as Poes Garden is concerned, but this particular move as a treasurer of the AIADMK could really create a body blow to Sasikala Natarajan. Money is the heart of any political party. Withdraw that and you're not going to have any party left. He has ensured that in his ability as a treasurer, he writes to the chief manager of the Bank of India saying that nobody can withdraw any money, not even a rupee, from the official account of the AIADMK without his written consent. Now, if this is taken forward, if this is approved as a legal decision, as a proper decision, keeping in view the kind of developments we've seen, it will mean that Sasikala Natarajan and her team will have no access whatsoever to the party funds. And can you imagine what that will mean, Shiv? It means that she cannot make any sort of expenditure, any expenses, even of course the MLAs that are staying in a private hotel, all of that will have to borne personally by her. The question is, how far can Paneerselvam's letter actually hold good? Because he claims that his dismissal, his expulsion from the party is null and void because Sasikala Natarajan's appointment as General Secretary doesn't hold. That's illegal. That's an illegal appointment, and that's why this decision of removing him from the post of treasurer doesn't hold either. That's something that the Election Commission is also looking into as far as Sasikala Natarajan's appointment is concerned. And if that is scrapped, Shiv, if the EC does say that there is no provision really for Sasikala Natarajan to take over as the General Secretary, it will essentially mean that Paneerselvam will have a free hand on the treasury. He will be able to take forward what he said now in that letter.
And these are letters, these are words that are borderline threats. There is nothing, the decency is gone from this fight. This is not an old school fight. This is very much visceral. It's probably a couple of steps away from, open hostility, which has already been demonstrated, which is why we want to play out the story for you, because the sense of disbelief in Tamil Nadu that things have descended to such a level in the AIADMK is very much part of the central narrative in this story. Disbelief that Paneerselvam, could be such a frontline, front-footing politician, and disbelief that Sasikala has, come out of the shadows and really into the spotlight in such a brazen manner. Take a look at the big face-off and how Sasikala actually hit back.
In the near future, this could be Sasikala Natarajan's bus to victory. Almost 130 out of 134 MLAs packed off in this bus to an undisclosed location to avoid any poaching by Paneerselvam. Because this fight is down to the wire. Whoever has the majority of MLAs by their side will become Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu. Paneerselvam's over 30-minute meditation may have changed Tamil Nadu politics. But Sasikala Natarajan has made it clear. She is more than just Jaya's shadow. She accuses Paneerselvam of betraying the party's trust and sleeping with the enemy, the DMK.
ஆளுங்கட்சியாக இருந்த பொழுதும் சரி, எதிர்க்கட்சியாக இருந்த பொழுதும் சரி, கட்சிக்கு எந்த நிலையிலும் பன்னீர்செல்வம் துரோகம் செய்தான் என்ற பெயர் என்னிடம் எப்பொழுதும் ஏற்பட்டதில்லை.
அம்மா அவர்களை அழிக்க துடித்த திமுகவுடன் கழகத்திற்கு கேட்டையும் நாசத்தையும் விளைவித்த திமுகவுடனான அவரின் செயல்கள் அம்மா எதற்காக போராடினாரோ, கடைக்கோடி தொண்டர்கள் எதற்காக போராடினார்களோ அதனை ஈடேற்றும் விதத்தில் அமைந்திடவில்லை.
OPS, as he's called, is now using each and every weapon in his arsenal to prove that he was the chosen one by Jaya, even ordering a probe in her death.
உறுப்பினர்கள் எனக்கு ஆதரவு தரப்போகிறார் என்ற விவரத்தினை சட்டமன்றம் கூடியவன் அங்கு வந்து மாண்புமிகு சட்டமன்ற உறுப்பினர்கள் உறுதியாக நிரூபிப்பார்கள்.
நம் எதிரிகள் விரும்பாதது இங்கு நடக்கிறது. அதனால்தான் இந்த சலசலப்பு. இதற்கெல்லாம் அனைத்து இந்திய அண்ணா திராவிட முன்னேற்ற கழகமும் அஞ்சாது, நானும் அஞ்ச மாட்டேன்.
The most damaging charge leveled by OPS is that Sasikala and her supporters surrounded him and forced him to resign. This claim could become the basis for withdrawal of his resignation.
மாண்புமிகு அம்மாவுடைய வீட்டிற்கு இல்லத்திற்கு சென்ற பொழுது அங்கே மூத்த அமைச்சர்கள், தலைமை கழக நிர்வாகிகள், கழக பொதுச்செயலாளருடைய குடும்பத்தில் இருக்கின்ற உறுப்பினர்கள் எல்லாம் உட்கார்ந்திருந்தார்கள். என்னை உட்கார சொன்னார்கள். உட்கார்ந்தேன். அப்பொழுதுதான் சின்னம்மா அவர்கள் முதலமைச்சராக வருவதற்கு அனைவரும் சேர்ந்து ஏற்பாடு செய்ய வேண்டும் என்று சொன்னார்கள்.
என்றால் என்ன அர்த்தம்? நம் எதிரிகள் விரும்பாதது இங்கு நடக்கிறது. அதனால் தான் இந்த சலசலப்பு. இதற்கெல்லாம் அனைத்து இந்திய அண்ணா திராவிட முன்னேற்ற கழகமும் அஞ்சாது, நானும் அஞ்ச மாட்டேன்.
History is repeating itself in Tamil Nadu. Almost 30 years ago, M.G. Ramachandran's wife Janki and his trusted aide Jayalalithaa clashed with each other to become chief ministers. And now that Jaya is no more, her two most trusted lieutenants are battling it out to sit on the throne. With Shivarur, Akshita Nandgopal, Pramod Madhav, Rohini Swami and Revati Rajivan. Bureau Report, India Today.